Hey everyone, it's me, Byers. Um, here for week, I guess 8. Okay. Uh, I have a sinus infection, so I'm a little okay. Uh, it's not COVID, and I can't even give you COVID because this is through a computer screen. Okay, but I might be sneezing during this. Might be blowing my nose. Okay, I got tissues. Okay, I got water. I got Gatorade. I got coffee. Well, so I'm back on it. Not the drugs, even though I do have those also. Decongestion drugs, okay, for the record. But I'm back on being able to get this lectures out on Friday rather than on Monday or afternoon or whatever. Okay, so you'll be seeing this posted on a Friday, the Friday before the official week begins, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay. The lighting's finally fixed in here. Okay. I'm not shaded in darkness, which is nice. You can see this really pale face. Okay. So I don't know if that actually helps things, makes things any better at all. Okay. But whatever. All right. So let's get to it. I'm going to go, let's see, let's share this. Schedule. Okay. Ew, that's like an ugly green. I had highlight all this, what I've already done, like, sort of as a St. Patrick green I was going for, but clearly I was not really looking. And instead I picked like vomit pea green. There we go. That's better. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so this week we are going to talk about Essay 2, writing introductions, Tolman method of paragraph writing, and how to use research and quotes for poetry. Okay. And your job this week is to write your rough draft. Next week, I'm going to go over some graded essays. I'm going to change the names. Okay. So no one knows that like I'm using your shoddy essay as an example of how to do better. Okay. If I get an essay with, I'll probably even change the names of those who, if I show a really good essay, just so that way I don't embarrass anybody. Okay. I'm not putting your information out there, whatever. But I will be doing that next week. I'll be going over some good essay ones, the strengths, and then also how to fix some of those essays. So that way you won't make the same mistakes for essay 2. Okay. All right. New share. I think I'm gonna go straight to, oh, let's see here. Your rough draft. Let's go back to our classroom. Is that? Show all my windows. I hate having to switch back and forth doing this. All right. So just so we know, okay, here's our announcements page. Go to lessons. Actually, so just for this week again, during if you go down to week 9 lectures and notes, I've already uploaded the PowerPoint that I'm using today. I uploaded it as a PDF set of notes. So if you want those, okay, as I highly advise you to use them and refer back to them. Okay, that's important. When you finish typing your rough draft, I'm thinking that we're going to do a peer review. I'll post more about that next week when you actually get done. Yeah, I'm not going to show you where to post your rough draft yet. I will demonstrate that later because I think we're going to do a peer review activity with that as well. Okay, more for that to come next week. But today I want to talk about the actual process of writing your rough draft. So let's get to that. Let's get to the PowerPoint. Week 3 let's see, week 3, no. Let's say 2, yes. All right. Oh. SE2, here it is. Okay. Slideshow. Oh, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. Okay, now you can look. Okay, so the differences between the way I graded SA1 versus how I'm going to be grading SA2. Okay. Okay, you might see these little glitches throughout this presentation, and that's just me pausing the recording to blow my nose because I don't think that like you necessarily want or need to see that. Okay. Our SA1 versus SA2, the focus. When I was grading your essays for SA1, I focused mainly on MLA formatting and using quotes. I had a whole PowerPoint where I went over how to use citations, how to use quotation marks. I posted that. You had access to that. And some people did not do that very well. Others did. Okay. So I really just mostly it's all about the MLA formatting and the usage of quotes. Okay. That was the main thing. And SA2, I will be focused again on MLA formatting. You should, by SA2, there should be no errors in MLA formatting. It should be 100% done and got it and easy. Okay. You need to fix all those errors before start writing SA2. Then the same thing with use of punctuation for quotes. I'm going to demonstrate that next week. Again, I'm going to show you some of the essays that did it incorrectly. People who did not use quotation marks correctly, or they did not have their parenthetical citation done correctly, or they had periods outside of quotation marks instead of inside. Okay, so I took points off of that for SA1, and I will be taking points off of that for SA2. Now for SA2 though, the additional, which I did not necessarily grade for SA1, is going to be essay structure. Like your introductions, okay, that we have a strong introduction. I'm going to go over that today. Your body paragraphs are arranged correctly and that they have the appropriate amount of information and that you're not overusing data and quotes, and that your conclusion is strong. I'm going to go over all those things today, okay? So the benefit of this is a higher grade on SA2 will replace a lower grade on SA1. So if you received a 76 on SA1 and you improve by 10 points, you make an 86 on SA2, then the 86 will go in for SA2 and it will go in for SA1. Okay. So no one should have, by the end of all this, no one should have a lower grade for SA1 than they have for SA2. Okay. If your SA2 grade is lower than your SA1 grade, then that's just the grade you get. If your SA1 was a 90 and SA2 for whatever reason you showed regression and you're an 80, then the SA1 grade will stay the same as a 90 and your SA2 grade will be an 80. Okay. I'm not matching SA1 grades to SA2 grades. I'm matching I'm not matching SA2 grades to SA1. All right, I'm matching SA1 to SA2 if SA2 is higher. If you made a 76 on SA1 and then a 78 on SA2, well then, yay, your 76 from SA1 becomes a 78. Now, when SA3 comes around, I am not replacing the score from SA1 with the SA3 grade either. So like even if like you made a 76 for SA1, an 86 for SA2, and a 96 for SA3, okay? That SA3 grade will replace the SA2 grade, but then that will not impact SA1, okay? So your 76 was turned to an 86 because SA2 was an 86. Great. So then when we do SA3, if you make a 96 on SA3, then that 96 will replace the 86 from SA2. But the grade for SA1 is just going to stay where it is. So you would have like an 86, a 96, and a 96. Okay, just so you know that. All right, if you have any questions about that, than submitting an email. But the point though is that like you want to do better on essay 2. And that's the incentive. Some of you are like, "Ooh, I'm not happy with my grade. I made a 70 on my essay 1." Well, if you make a 95 on essay 2, that 70 from essay 1 gets turned into a 95. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do really well on essay 2. Gwinnett Tech has a writing lab that you can access if you go through the main page. You can get tutoring help. I might even, let me see this, hold on. So Gwinnett Tech offers free tutoring on your papers and helping with your papers. Let me show you this. New share. If you go to start here, scroll down, look, free writing tutoring. Fill out this form to be a free appointment with a writing tutor at the Lawrenceville campus, Alpharetta, or over the phone. It is your responsibility to share the instructor's assignment and guidelines with the tutor. The tutor will show you how to proofread, but the tutor will not proofread for you. I'll tell you what, y'all, listen. I used the Writing Center when I was in college, and it revolutionized my writing. Okay, so it's free. You have to come in with a paper in order for them to like work on it. Okay, but it's a great service. So you should really do that. After you write your rough draft, you should go there, make an appointment, and have them read over your paper. It'll be great. Okay. All right, back to the PowerPoint. Okay, we're on slide 1. We have 18 more. Yay. All right, so blah, 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 blah. We did that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, the introduction. Here we go. This is the outline for your introduction. Your introduction, you want to start off broad and then move to a more narrow and specific idea. That's universal for all introductions. Start off broad and move more narrow. Okay. Start off broad and then move towards your thesis. Okay. For this essay, follow this outline for your intro. First couple of sentences, begin talking about diverse perspectives, just in general. Okay. America is made up of a whole bunch of different voices from around the world. Okay. Something very general. Then lead into the power of art and poetry as a vehicle to diverse expression. Okay. Anyone, people can speak to the masses through literature, through books, through TV, through movies. Then move into talking about the 3 poets that you're going to be discussing. It's like in your paragraph, start bringing up the 3 poems and the writers that wrote those poems. Okay. And then you want to end with your thesis statement, where you state the 3 poems that you're going to be writing about and what points you're going to make. Now, look, listen, something I didn't add on this, but I'm telling you this right now verbally. Do not write in first person. Don't write, I am going to tell you all about blah, 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 blah. Don't write in first person, write in third person, okay? Don't tell me what you're going to be telling me. Just tell me. So for example, here is a thesis statement for this type of paper. Poetry is a fundamental way to express one's existence, as it can be seen in the symbolism of House in the World, the theme of Phenomenal Woman, and in the feminist messages in What They Don't Tell You. Boom, there you go. I got the 3 poems that I'll be talking about in my paper, and I got the 3 points that I'm making about each individual poem. Symbolism in House in the World, theme in the Phenomenal Woman, and like the literary message in What They Don't Tell You. So your intro needs to follow like this. These are your 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points that you're trying to hit in your introduction. And it should be all written like a paragraph, okay? A concise paragraph. And the last sentence should be your thesis, okay? That's the introduction. Okay, body paragraphs. Here we go. Whew. This decongestion medicine really hit me really hard right now. Okay, so listen. Every body paragraph, not introduction and not conclusion, but the bodies of paragraphs are all arranged the same. Okay. If you master the paragraph, you master the essay, because an essay is just a collection of paragraphs. So there are 3 parts to a paragraph. Okay. First is your claim, which is the main idea. Second is your support, which is your contextual evidence. Third, most important, is the analysis, the explanation. So a claim. The claim is the main idea that's being made in the paragraph. It is the main idea that a writer wants their readers to understand and know. Every paragraph can be reduced to 1 sentence, and that's the claim. Okay. Everything in that paragraph is meant to just explain the claim. So the claim is just one idea, and the rest of the paragraph revolves around that idea. Okay. There's only one claim in a paragraph. The rest of the paragraph is just proving and convincing the audience that the claim being made is legitimate and believable. 20% of your paragraph is that first couple of sentences, which is your claim, your main ideas for the paragraph. Second part is support. Contextual support, quotes, references, summary, research. Okay. And listen, use just enough quotes and summary to support your claim and analysis. A lot of y'all were using like way too much support in your paragraphs last week. I know like the Simone de Beauvoir quotes were long, but you didn't have to write the entirety of those quotes. You just take out little chunks of the quotes that you wanted to use in your paper. But some of your paragraphs are just really long quotes. Okay, so you just want to have enough quotes or summary, right? This shows what part of the text you're discussing, and it serves as evidence. Only 30% of your paragraph should be quotes. Some of y'all had like 80% of your paragraph. If you had a 10-line paragraph, you had like 1 line as your claim, and then you had like 8 lines of quotes. Too much, way too much. Okay. So the claim in the support should only be half of your paper. The other half of your paper is analysis. 50% of your paper is analysis. This is your explanation of your claim. So where your paragraph wins or loses. A lot of you had these long quotes, and then it was just there, and you didn't really say much after that. You have to explain to your audience how they're supposed to interpret that information which you presented to them. Okay, you cannot just hope that they get it. You can't hope that they understand what you're trying to say. Okay. Everything discussed here needs to go back to the claim and the evidence. You need to be putting it all together and like literally telling your audience how they need to be interpreting this information. Okay. So for example, let's say we're talking about the theme of Milan. Move my picture out of the way. Oops. Okay. So we have this, let me get myself. I can't minimize my, oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So what is the theme of Milan? So we have this long paragraph. In the film Milan, the theme of the story is that women should be seen as equal and respected on the battlefield as much as men. In the movie, when Milan's kingdom is threatened by the invasion of the Huns, the men are called to war. Milan wants to serve too, but she is denied because of her gender. Therefore, she disguises herself as a male in order to fulfill her destiny to be a great warrior. Mulan was confident that she was strong and brave enough to be a warrior, but the male-dominated and sexist society that she lived in prohibited her from fighting. But by surviving and thriving in the war, she proves that women can be as equal or more so than men in war. Although the film doesn't explicitly show people being killed because there were battles fought, it can be understood that people did in fact die in these battles. Yet Mulan survived. And if it is understood that she is the only woman fighting in this war, then that means she, a woman, was more dominant in battle than any other male soldiers. With her rising political power as being a princess, combined with the self-assurance in believing that women can handle battle, she will be a mighty influence in her kingdom at leveling the field of respect paid toward women in battle and society. Ooh. So the claim The claim of Mulan, of this paragraph, is that in the film Mulan, the theme is that women should be seen as equal and respected on the battlefield as much as men. That's the main idea, and the whole paragraph revolves around that. The support is the summary from the film. In the movie, when Mulan's kingdom is threatened by the invasion of the Huns, the men are called to war. Mulan wants to serve too, but she's denied because of her gender. Therefore, she disguises herself as a male. That right there is all summary. It's just support. That's just evidence from the film. If you watch the film, that's what you will see. And then the rest of it is all analysis. This is explaining it, explaining what this all means, explaining that she was confident. It didn't. She never said, "I'm confident." We can just interpret her as being confident. They never said the society was male dominated and sexist, but we can interpret it that way from the way that they treated her, the women. So this is all interpretation. From Mulan was confident down to society. So that's like this whole paragraph is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 lines. And from right here, Mulan was confident. From here down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 16 lines is all analysis and explanation. That's the way your paragraph should be as well. The majority of it needs to be explanation and analysis. Okay, see that? This right here is your theme, is your claim. This right here is your support. The green is your support. And then the yellow is analysis. Okay. The analysis is the most important part. So we got to make sure that we do it that way. All right, then on to the conclusion. In your conclusion, you want to reverse what you did with your introduction while ending on a personal note. For this essay, follow this outline for your conclusion. Begin by restating your thesis, not copying and pasting it, restating the poems that you just discussed. Okay, bringing it all back. Then move into how people react individually to poetry, which will lead to you talking about how you reacted to these poems, what you personally felt. The 3 body paragraphs are not about your feelings. It's about your interpretation. The conclusion has you talking about what they mean to you on a personal level. Okay. The conclusion is the only time where you can be speaking in first person. The rest of the essay needs to be all third person. If you don't understand what that means, send me an email. Now, all of your paragraphs should roughly be about the same number of lines. Your intro and conclusion should be the same size, only slightly shorter than the body paragraphs. And all of your body paragraphs should be about the same size. Okay. So if one person turned in a paper with like a body paragraph that was twice the size of all the other body paragraphs, nope. You got to have some balance in your writing. So they all need to be about the same, especially the introduction and conclusion. They need to be pretty similar. And then all your body paragraphs should be rather similar as well. Okay, moving on to using research to support an analysis of poetry. All right, so look, when quoting a poem, use a diagonal slash to represent a break in the lines. So I'm gonna be talking about The Giving Tree. Not the book, but the original was a poem. Okay, the original poem said, "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you'll have money and you'll be happy." Okay, so if I was going to be talking about this, when I'm quoting, I would be using slashes to demonstrate breaks in these lines. So for my analysis, the tree in the poem represents the selflessness and empathy women showed to their loved ones. When the boy exclaims that, "I want to buy things and have fun," slash, "I want some money," quotation mark, the tree, wanting to help him, self-destructively tells him, comma, quotation, "I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples and sell them in the city." So here we have examples of the slashes. Okay. So even if it says I want to buy things and have fun, next line, I want some money. If you're writing this in your paper, you just, instead of going to the next line, you have a slash right here. Okay. You want to research topics that deal with your poetry packet. So look, each paragraph needs to have some outside research, a quote that you add in, that you bring in to talk up to justify your analysis. Okay. So like, here are some things that you could research. Okay. Like, I don't want you to find research on the poems. I want you to find research about the topics of the poems. Okay. And I'm not looking for you to find someone else's analysis of these poems. I'm looking for you to develop your own analysis of these poems. So for some of the feminist poems, you could research female friendship and abusive relationships, depression and homosexuality in children, coming out in adolescence, racial inequalities, perpetuating Black stereotypes, etc. Okay. You're researching topics to then discuss in your analysis of the poems. Okay. When analyzing literature, find research that supports your interpretation rather than finding research about someone else's interpretation. So like this lady, she wrote this article called "In a Society That Fetishizes Female Self-Sacrifice, Saying No Saved Me." This is by Grace Jennings. This is a quote from it. "We so often say yes to favors, requests, and unrealistic parenting expectations because we fear being accused of being rude, mean, or selfish. Working mothers have shouldered the majority of the burden around the home. Women need to draw boundaries around what we can and cannot take on in our own domestic partnerships." Okay, so this is a quote about women and how they essentially give themselves away. Okay, so this relates to the giving tree. All right, where my interpretation about how the giving tree is about the tree represents a self-sacrificing woman to the point where she gives away her whole entire being to this ungrateful little turd of a child. So here, let's look at this paragraph and notice how it's also set up with claim support analysis. In the giving tree, the tree represents the self-sacrificing nature of women and how society, i.e. the boy, takes advantage of the female sex, expecting her to give her entirety to serve the common good. In her article, "In a Society That Fetishizes Female Self-Sacrifice, Saying No Saved Me," Grace Kenning discusses the burden at home that women faced during the pandemic and how one word saved the author: no. She writes that we so often say yes to favors, requests, and unrealistic parenting expectations because we fear being accused of being rude, mean, or selfish. In the giving tree, the tree doesn't say no, and because of that, she loses everything she has. If the tree had said no to the boy, she wouldn't have lost everything in the end. Women are the trees. They give everything, saying yes, even if it will hurt them. As the author argues, women should learn how to say no because we can at least draw boundaries around what we can and cannot take on. This poem serves as an allegory to teach young girls how not to be used by the people in their lives. Okay. So we have research. It's not about the giving tree, but we applied it to the giving tree. It's relatable. It goes with the analysis of this poem. Okay. Also, look right here. Look at my mouse. Hope you can see it. When you have a quote inside of a quote, then you use singular quotation marks, not double. Also, when you are referring to the title of a poem, that title is in quotation marks. Okay. So here are some respectable sources outside of Galileo. You can find articles in the New York Times, Vulture, The Atlantic, Slate, The Guardian, The Economist, The Washington Times, Psychology Today, New York Magazine. These are reliable sources that you can find articles about all sorts of things that deal with these poems. You know, racism, blood memory, feminism, issues of, I don't know, same-sex relationships, all sorts of things. Your research should support your interpretation. The research should not be about the poem. Okay. All right, that's it. I hope that makes sense. I hope that, let's see, where's my picture? Oh, there we go. There we are. Stop share. Yay. I hope that made sense. I hope I didn't go too fast. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. But you got to have 3 pieces of research for your paper. One outside research, one outside article that you relate to for each of your body paragraphs. Okay. All righty. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.